I'm just calling to say I
What's up everybody, Rage Quitting here, back with another video for you guys, and today I wanted to talk about Riot Games' upcoming MMO that is currently in the works. I wanted to share what I believe could happen with the class design and abilities within the game. The MMO is said to be designed around the current existing lore and world of League of Legends. So in that regard, I believe they may design class abilities around their respective nations. In other MMOs like World of Warcraft for instance, whether you play as Alliance or Horde, if you are a warrior, you are a warrior. Both factions have the same skill trees and abilities, the only difference being the way you build your tree and the racial abilities that come with your character creation. Other than that, the class plays exactly the same, no matter what faction you choose to play. With Riot's MMO, they could create a very unique experience for players from different factions. What I mean by this is fighters from different regions will play differently from each other and won't just be mirrors of one another. This is the map of Runeterra. So for an example, let's just say for the sake of this video that when the Riot MMO launches, the first zones that will be playable will be in this top portion of the map here with Demacia, Freljord, and Noxus. If they wanted to make the game unique and the characters unique, what they could do while keeping in line with the lore of League of Legends and the world that they already created, they could make it so that if you are a fighter, and by fighter I just mean any kind of class type, because in League of Legends there's different classes such as assassin, fighter, mage, marksman, support. For an example, we're going to use fighter in this video, but you could replace that with mage or assassin, marksman, whatever, right? Warrior, caster, melee DPS, range DPS, anyway. So let's just say that you are a fighter from Demacia. As a class, could have abilities that are just exclusive to Demacians only. And the way that they keep in line with that is using known abilities that they already have existing in League of Legends. So for an example, let's take known fighters from Demacia such as Garen, Xin Zhao, and Poppy, for example. And let's go ahead and just grab all of their abilities like Garen's silence, his spin to win, his shield, his judgment, Xin's abilities like their dash and the AoE knockback, Poppy's abilities like her super knockback and her charge that stuns people into the wall. All of those abilities could just be exclusively Demacian abilities. However they decide to implement all this, but those will just be Demacian abilities only. And then let's go ahead and take fighters from the Freljord, right? Like Tryndamere, Olaf, and Trundle. We can take Tryndamere's spin, we can take his ultimate where he can't die for a period of time, and his heal. And then for Olaf, we can take his movement speed with his ultimate where he breaks out of crowd control and just runs at things. We can take his lifesteal, and then with Trundle, we can take maybe his like Pillar of Frost. All of the abilities that they have from those fighters in Freljord could be just specifically exclusive to Freljord characters. And then lastly, from Noxus, of course, you have characters like Darius, Kled, and Riven. We can take abilities from all of them too, such as Darius's hook, his AoE spin around his body that does cleave damage and it heals him. We can take Kled's grapple. We can take all of Riven's abilities, the shield, the dash, the knockbacks, and her ultimate. So all of the abilities from characters in Noxus could also just be exclusive to Noxus. The developers for Riot's MMO may just come up with completely new abilities for their class design, but I think it would be very cool to see the ones that we already know and love straight from League of Legends. And for my own personal preference, I would love to see the distinction between characters of the same class type that are from different nations. I know Ghostcrawler and the rest of the dev team wants their MMO to be successful and stand out on its own and not just be another WoW clone. So who knows, maybe they will make classes unique in this way. At least I really hope so. Unfortunately, we still don't know how Riot plans to design the playable classes in their upcoming MMO. So this is of course just speculation, but I really would love to see the diversity in the classes from different regions because I think it would make for a very unique individual experience for all the players. I know this will be a challenge just from a class balancing standpoint, but if they are able to pull it off, and if they decide to make each nation their own faction with their own storylines and leveling zones, the characters can be unique to their home faction, and no two classes will be exactly the same as they are in other MMOs where they are just mirror images of one another. But what do you guys think? I would really love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on another one. Peace.